Hey guys, hope you're all doing well. This KT session is on the BluePrism crash course for the beginners. So if you don't have any idea of BluePrism, then this course is for you. So let's start. This is the BluePrism application. This is the Windows version. Nowadays we have cloud versions of BluePrism as well. But in this session we are gonna use this Windows version. So first understand what is BluePrism do. So BluePrism is a RPA tool, and RPA stand for robotic process automation, which means the bots which mimics the human actions. Means bots are the software or the tools which can perform the human action in a computer system. For example, if you perform any task, means creating a Word file or creating a Notepad file, so that requires some actions. Means you go to start menu, then search for Notepad, and then open Notepad, then click on new. Similarly, you can perform for the Excel or MS Word. So all these tasks now will be done by the bot or a BluePrism process. So we will automate all these tasks using the help of RPA tool, and we are gonna use BluePrism RPA tool. So why do we use these RPA tools? Because in day-to-day life there are a lot of processes or which we perform manually, and these are repetitive tasks. Means daily we perform these tasks, and especially in the banking industry or in a medical industry or in some another industry, so there are a lot of tasks which they perform daily, but we can replace we can take help from the bots to perform these tasks, because these bots or the BluePrism processes, these are faster than the human, and these are robust, and also it saves times. Means we can perform that task easily. Just we need to train our bot. Okay, so we will see how we can create a bot or a BluePrism process. So let's start. Now see, this is our Windows BluePrism Windows application. First, as we do sign in, we need to do sign in. I have installed this learning edition from the BluePrism website. I will give the link of the video which I posted, means on this installation process. So you can watch that video and install this BluePrism in your system. So this BluePrism application contains tabs. So these tabs, we will work in this all the tabs. So first tab is home tab. It shows this we can say dashboard or the data which is available. This is like a data representation of the BluePrism. Means in our from our database, means we have these data tables, these processes, business objects and all. And in Studio tab we can create processes and objects. Means here we can create bots or BluePrism processes. And here in control room, this is our control room. As its name suggests, we can control our bots. Means we can trigger the bots, we can run the bots, we can schedule the bots and all. And in analytics tab, again this is similar to the home page. Here we can see different dashboards, and we can assign a default dashboard to our home page. And in releases, we can release our bots. Means we can, in Studio tab we will create the bot, in control room we will run the bot, and in release we can port the bot. Means if we want to transfer our bot from one system to another, we can do that. And this is digital exchange. This is the optional tab, and from here we will move to the BluePrism portal, and here in system we can do the settings. So now the first thing is we will create a bot. That is the main or the important part of the BluePrism. Just we need to create the bot. Once If we are able to create the bot, then we will become the BluePrism developer. So for creating the bot, we will go to this studio tab, and here we can see two things: processes, objects. Now what are processes, what are objects? Processes means we can create means if you want to do any logical or function operations, or like we have to do anything, means calculations, or the we want to do calculations, or we want to apply some logics, we want to apply if conditions or the loops. So we will use these processes. But if you want to interact with a business, means processes and objects. Processes we use if you want to apply any business rules, business logics, these type of stuff if you want to do in our bot. And if you want to interact with the application, means we want to do, we like I gave an example of Notepad. So if we want to interact with Notepad, then we will use the objects. So objects are like libraries or namespaces. If you are familiar with programming language, then you may be aware of these terms: namespaces, libraries, classes. So business objects are like those. So we can create the object of a particular application, means Notepad, an Excel, or Word, and we can use those objects in our processes. So there are a lot of business objects available in the BluePrism itself, means those are built-in business objects, or we can say those provided by the BluePrism itself, like Excel object or MS Word object. So there are a lot of objects. So let's start creating our first bot or first process. So bot and process both are same. So here we will right click and create process, give the name first, from my first process. Okay, click on next. Then you can give the description of your process, whatever this process is gonna do. So this is my first process. Okay, now if you want to open the process, after clicking on finish, it will open. Just check this. So this is like a flow chart. This is the best quality of BluePrism, that in this the process flow looks like this, means it contains lot of blocks, like we can see on the screen: start block, end block, or in BluePrism language we call it stages. So there are a lot of stages available here. You can see I posted a video on these stages already. You can check these videos, or else we are gonna discuss all the stages one by one. So this is our main area or the main page. Every bot contains a process, means like we created a process. So until unless we create a process, we can't create a bot. So every time we need to create a process, and this process contain a main page, like a main function of a programming language. So this is the main page. From here bot will start, from the start stage it will start. Now let's say we have our bot is very big, or it is very large, it contains lot of flows, lot of stages. So we can divide this into multiple pages or multiple sub processes. For example, this is main page. Right click on it and click on new. So this will be our page 2. You can rename it. Okay, now we are performing the task, and we will use this page stage to call that page 2, like this. create a reference to an existing page, click on next, page 2, finish, link all this. Now when we run the process, it will come to this start, then page 2, it will go to the page 2. Again on page 2 we have start and end stage, and it will perform all the task of page 2, then it will come back to the page 1. Similarly we can create multiple pages, and similarly we can create multiple sub processes, and we can call the process here using this stage process. You can create a call the process. So here is the list of processes. You can choose your sub process, and you can provide input and output as well. We will do all this later. So this is how we can divide our big or large port into smaller piece or smaller part. Now let's use this about, let's do some calculations. Means if you want to do some calculations, how we can do that. So for that we have data items, means variables. So I have taken these two variables, data 1, data 2. You can just use any stage, just click on it and drag drop. Simple. So I have taken these two stages, data 1, data 2. Now click on it, double click on it, and here you can see the name and data type. Okay, let's say number. We can assign the initial value as well. I mean that I'm giving 10, and you can see the exposure. We will see this later. Current value and visibility, hide from other pages in this process. So if you hide this from the other pages and click on OK, now we can't use this variable on this page 2, because this page is local variable or local data item whose scope is inside this main page only. We can't use it on any another page. If you want to use it on all the pages, then you can just uncheck this checkbox. Just uncheck this. Now you can use it on any other page. Now click on data 2 and make this number, give the value 20, click on OK. Now we want to do the sum, or we want to do the multiplication. For that we have calculation stage C. So for all the things we have stages, means whatever you want to do. And if you want to interact with applications or the softwares, other software, then we will use Business Studio. Now in double click on calculation. So we want to do the multiplication of the two numbers. So here you can see the categories, and in numbers we have data 1, just click and drag drop, and data 2. So we want to do multiplication, we will use this, and we want to save the result, then give the name of a stage where you want to store the result. Again we need a data item, just give this result. Number, okay, and double click on calculation and give this result here. That's it. Here in expression area it will look like this, means in square bracket variable name, data item name, and here it will be without square brackets. Now click on OK and run the bot. See, just click on this button to run the bot, and here we can see start, calculation stage, and end stage. Bot has executed all these stages, and in result we can see 200, means 20 into 10, 200. So this is our simple bot or simple process of calculating the sum of the two numbers. Similarly you can perform multiplications or other any operation, means any mathematical operation you can perform here using this calculation stage. Just give the inputs and outputs. So now let's say we want to do division, means we want to divide this by data 2 divided by data 1 and store the result here. But as you know, there is a we can't divide any number by 0. So first we will check whether data 1 is 0 or not. If we give it 0, see, we will get this error, means fail to evaluate expression division by 0. So we will apply a check, means if data 1 is 0, then don't do the calculation. Okay, so for that we will, now we have to check, means data 1 is 0 or not. For that we use a calculation, decision stage, means we will take a decision whether it is 0 or not. If it is 0, then do this, otherwise do this. So we will take decision on the basis of a condition, and that condition will be if data 1 is less than. Now see, here, this is the button to reset the flow, means now the flow is here. You can see this is yellow, so just reset this, click on this and it will be reset. Now see what we are doing here. We have taken a decision stage, and here this is the condition if data 1 is 0. So if data 1 is 0, yes, you can see this yes and no, these are shown by default. So if that condition is true, means yes, then flow will come here, and if that condition is false, then flow will come here. But if that decision is true, means if that is 0, we don't want to do the division, so we will change this, right click and click on switch. Now it is perfect. If the condition is true, okay, means if data 1 is 0, then flow will come here. You can see the arrow, it will end. Let me run this. See, decision yes and end. You can see the process is completed. Okay, so this is how we can control our flow. Like in programming languages, we use if and if condition, else conditions and all. If the data item is not 0, means it is 10 or something else. So now again reset and now run the board. Decision, so it is not 0, so flow come here. We call this happy path or unhappy path, means if the flow is true, if the condition is true, it will come here, otherwise it will come here. Okay, similarly, if we want to perform multi calculations, means if we want to do the sum, then we want to do the multiplication, then we want to do this, then we want to do that. For that we have this multi calculation stage. Here we can when we click on this, it will looks like that calculation. Just whatever you want to do here, means data item. First we will do the sum and click on OK. It will do data 2 plus data 1 and store the result here. And then now click on add, means we can do the multi calculation. So this is the first calculation, then we will do the second calculation. Now when we want to do result plus result minus data 2. Now we want to subtract the result data 2 minus result and save the result in the data 1. Means 10 plus 20 is equal to 30, and 20 minus 30, it will be minus 10. Now click on OK. Now we want to run this stage, so link this stage with multi-stage, and then we will end the stage. Or now see, See the flow. Start. It will always start from the start stage. It will come here, then it will do the multi calculation, then flow is going like this. Okay, it will end. This decision stage and calculation stage, these are not linked with any stage. Means after multi stage, it is not linked. This multi stage is connected with this anchor tag. This is the anchor tag. You can see anchor, and so it doesn't matter how many stages we are using. If those stages are the part of the flow, then those will execute, otherwise not. Now if we run the bot, you can see. So this decision stage and calculation stage, these both are useless. You can remove this. Okay. So this is how we can create a process or a bot which can perform calculations, or which can perform business rules or decisions. We can use a process. So there are a lot of strategies available. Like we use multi calculation to do multiple calculations. Now let's say we have this data item, but we want to save the lot of data. Means we have a student, means we have 100 students in our class, and we want to save the data of 100 students. Now how will we save the data of 100 students? So we will take name of student 1, then name of student 2, name of 3, name of the 4, and means we have to take the 100 data items, then we have to take 100 data items for their marks, then we have to take the 100 data items for their age, for their date of birth. So there will be thousands of data item. We can't manage thousands of data item. So for that we have this collection stage. This collection is like an array or collection of like in programming language we have collections and arrays, or a list, or a set, or a table. Similarly we have this collection. So in this collection we can add the fields. Means click on add. Now field 1, let's say name, and again type means data type. Add one more field, it will be name, age will be number, marks, text. Okay, now click on initial values, and when we click on add we can give the values here, like name, then age, then marks. See, the name is in text. You can see this text box here. This is bigger than this age, and for marks this is text, so this is showing a bigger text box. Marks we can take in the number. Similarly you can add the details of a lot of students here, or you can read the data from the Excel sheet or from some another website or some table as well. So no need to create thousands of data items. You can just add the details of 100 students here. Now if we want to traverse this collection, or we want to loop over this collection, we will use this loop stage. Click on link, remove this multi calculation. So this is a loop start and loop end. whatever we want to do inside this loop, we will add those stages here. And if you want to do calculation, we will add this. Now it will when the process will start, it will come to this loop start 1, and we are going to loop over a collection. We can loop the collection only. So col1 is our collection. Select this and click on OK. Now this will loop on the collection, means the rows of the collection. So there are 2 rows, so this loop will run 2 times. And in calculation we can perform any extra calculations, means if we want to do so let's say we want to assign this to the result. See, loop start calculation, and in here we can see 88. Now again it will traverse 77. So 2 rows loop has run 2 times because there were 2 rows, and it has assigned the A's to the result. So this is how we can perform calculations using all these stages. And if you want to use any business object, like we are gonna discuss it later, so you can use this action stage. Now let's say your process, you have created your process and you want to, now developer will create this type of processes, and it will move to the production or any other another environment, and from that environment it will run from the control room. So how can we publish this to control room? So after creating your process, you will go to this stage. This is the information stage where you can see the information of the process, and here you can see the option publish this process to control room. Just check this and click on OK. Now you can see there are some errors. When we click on this error, we can see the errors. The stage to store result in doesn't exist. Here you can see the type, error, advice, actions. Now stage to store result in doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. A page, main page, stage name, calculation 1. So this is our main page and stage is calculation 1, and this is the store a result stage where we are storing the result. So that doesn't exist. That is deleted by mistake. Okay, I have created this. So this is the result stage. Now click on this reset. Wow. And remove this page as well because we are not using this page. Now we can see 0 errors. Now we can save our process because there isn't any error. Now click on save and give the edit summary, whatever you want to add, comments or something. Just saved, and click on save changes. Now go back to the BluePrism main application. Click on control, and here you can see our first bot is available. And here you can see, and cut to the end. Okay, now click on publish is in control room. Click on OK. Now click on save, and you can save this saved. So we can create the process, we can save the process, we can publish the process. Now when we go to the control room, our published process will be available here, and you can see this is how control room looks like. On left side we can see session management, queue management, active queues, schedulers, and reports. So session management, this is our session management, and here we can see available processes, available resources, and this is the environment, or we can say this is the list of the sessions which recently ran or which are gonna run or which are running. So here we can see available processes. You can see a message drag and drop processes onto the resources. So BluePrism is all about drag and drop. And when we expand the folder, we can see the process name or the bot name which we want to run, and here we can see the resources. Resources are the remote desktop or the machines or runtime resources which are available. So you can run the process on any of the available resource, and this resource should be configured. Means if you are gonna use a particular application, for example Excel, then Excel should be present on particular resource where you want to run the bot or process. So just make sure all the configuration is, so just make sure bot is already configured. Now let's say I want to run this process. I will just select and drag drop onto this resource, and here we can apply the filter to see the session. Now this will be in pending state. Select this and click on start resource, selected session. It will start this session on this machine or on this resource. And here we can see the start time, end time, latest stage of that process, and stay started at this time. So this is how we can start the process. So this is in running state. Running, the status is running. We can monitor this board from here, or we can open this resource and we can check, see means what is happening on this board. Now this is the queue management. Queue management. So for example, if you created a process which is taking input from this queue, we will see all the functions of queue manager in the next video, or else you can see you can watch our this video. And these all are queues. And in scheduler, for example, if you want to run a process at a particular time, let's say you want to run a process at 12 p.m. on Wednesday, then you can schedule that process. No need to run manually, it will trigger the process. You have to create a schedule for that, and it will trigger the process at a particular time. And here we can see our process is terminated. So this is how we can create a process, we can trigger a process, or we can schedule a process in BluePrism. Let me show you the object studio now. So right click on a object. Let me open this existing object. So this is how object studio looks like. This is similar to the process studio. This is our object studio, and this is similar to the process studio, but there are some extra features available here. So there are 5 extra stages: read, write, navigate, code, and wait. These 5 stages are available only in this in object studio. And let me show you the process studio. So this is our process studio. You can see process studio, and here you can see the object studio. Now see, after pointer link block, and here after block we have process stage, but here we have read, write, navigate, code, wait, and then we have process. So these are 5 extra stages which are available only in Object Studio. And there is one stage alert in Process Studio which is not available in the Object Studio. And apart from this, we have this application modeler in this Object Studio which is not available here. Rest all the features are same. These 5 stages and this application modeler which is extra in the Object Studio, because all these stages and this application model will help us in automating a application. So let's automate some application. Let's create a object like we created a process. Similarly, we can create the object, my first object. So when we create an object, we have 3 pages: initialize, cleanup, and action 1. We don't have any main page here. Main page is only available in the process. So this is the again one more difference in the Process Studio and Object Studio. And all these pages in of our Object Studio are known as actions. Means this business object or object have lot of action. Means if we create one more page, so it will be action 1, action 2. So mean this business object have 2 action 1 and action 2, and these 2 are default pages. Like we publish a process, similarly we can publish these objects, like right click and click on publish. As soon as you publish, you can see this icon before the name of the action. Right click and publish, you can see this action. So now these both actions are published. So all the steps which we perform in the Process Studio, we can perform here. We have all the stages, means calculation, multi-calculation, all the stages are available. But generally we use this Object Studio for automating the applications, or we can use the we can write the code as well. Means if you want to do coding in C#, J#, you can use this. You can write your code. Just watch this video, you will get the idea how you can code. Otherwise we will discuss in upcoming videos. Okay, now let's say you want to automate the Google application. Now click on application modeler and it will open this wizard. Here you can see define a new application model or share the application model of another object. Don't use an application model with this object. So you can choose as per your requirements. By default we are gonna use the first one. Click on next. Now the type of the application which you want to automate. So we are gonna automate Chrome. Sorry, we are going to automate the google.com, means Google's website. So that is a web application, and that web application works in a browser. So we will select browser based application, and we are going to automate Chrome. So I'm selecting first one. And if you want to automate a Internet Explorer website, so you can select the second, browser based application, Internet Explorer. Now click on next. Indicate what type of applications you are using. Now a browser which is already running, or you want to launch the browser from an executable file. So this depends upon us. And enter the title of the target page. So first let me open the Google. Okay, so we have this web page or a web application. Now enter the title. Title is Google. You can say Google. And we can also use the wildcards, means if it is Google, then the username, so that username is dynamic. or if it is new tab 1, new tab 2, means 1 2, these are dynamic, so we can use asterisk sign as well. So we can give like this as well, Google then star, means the first 5 character should be GOOGL, and then asterisk means after that anything will. So after this, you click on next. Now you can select the path of the application. So we are using Chrome, so this is the path of the chrome.exe. Now click on next and enter the URL. So URL will be this one. And click on next, finish. So we have created the application. We have configure the application model. Now we can select the elements. For example, I'm using this I want to search anything on the Google. So manually what I will do is I will launch the Google Chrome, then I will enter the URL of the Google or the website which I want to search, which I want to use. Then I will so first of all, if I want to do manually, if I want to do a Google search manually, then the steps which I follow will be, I will launch this Chrome application, then I will enter the URL of the Google, this one, and then this web page will be open. Till then I will wait until or unless this web page is open, then I will IPN 2023, and then I will hit enter, or I can hit enter, or I can select a Google search, or I am lucky I can click on that as well, but I'm preferring enter. So as soon as I click enter, I will get the results. Okay, so now bot have to do these steps, so we have to train the bot to do these steps. So first step is launching the Chrome and go to that URL. So that is already configured, so bot will we have already configured the application modeler. It will connect to the already launched website. For that, this website should be open, or we can also launch this as well, we will see it later. Now what we want to do is, this website is already open, we need to just type IPL 2023 in this text box. For that, we have to tell the bot that you have to write on this web page, on this text box. First of all, we will attach to that application. Click on attach. Now click on identify. Now it will start identify, means we are gonna spy. So you can see this on right top corner, you can see this pink color pop-up using the identification tool browser mode. So we are going to spy the elements in the browser mode. There are a lot of modes available in the BluePrism, a lot of spy modes, 5 4 6 4 5. Now we have to automate this, we have to write the text in this text box. So just you can see we are able to highlight the elements like this, and this is a text box which you want. So just click on it, and you can see on the right top corner, use control and left click to select the highlighted item. We have highlighted this. Now select now use control and left click, and it will be able to capture this element. So we have captured this. Let's rename this to search box. Okay, and here we can see the properties or attributes of that element. You can see there are a lot of attributes available. Just uncheck which are empty. So this web access key is empty, and web name, we don't need this web ID, web element type. Just this XPath is enough. Now click on highlight. Let's see whether we are able to highlight this using these attributes. Click on highlight. So we are able to highlight. You can see this red box, a red border. Now click on apply and click on OK. Now go back to the BluePrism and let's delete this action. In action 1, so first of all we need to attach to that application because we are not launching it, it is already launched manually. So take a navigate stage, navigate, and here you can select the search this my first object, the name of the root element, because we are gonna attach to this. Now in action you can see the attach, and click on OK. So this is the like default steps which you have to perform for all the applications. Either you need to launch it, then attach, otherwise if it is already running, then you need to just attach to this. Okay, attach to this application, so that BluePrism came to know means we are gonna use this application. Now after that we are going to write the data in the search box. Now take a right stage, and here you can see value, what you want to write. I'm like hard coding this value, but we can also use data items as well to give the value here. I'm writing April 2023, and element where we want to write in the search box, and click on OK. Now link all the stages. As we run the process, we can run the bot as well. So let's run the bot. See, April 2023 is written by the bot. Let me run this again. See, nothing happened because it has overwrite the April 2023. If I made it April 2024, now if I will run the bot, you can see as soon as right stage is executed, it will write April 2023 here. You can see. Now let's see, if you want to enter the text, let's say April 2023, then we have to press the enter. Okay, but when we are writing the text using right stage, so it will just write the text, so it won't click on the search box or do anything, it will just write the text. But if you want to hit enter, then we have to click on it and hit the write the text and then hit the enter. So for that we have to focus on this text box, and let me show you. After attaching, we will use this focus search box, focus action, then click action. After that we will write the text, and after that we can write the text using we can use global send keys to write the text as well, and then we will use global send keys to press the enter keys. For pressing the enter key, we use this type of code. In curly braces, write enter, the name of the enter key, and here in global send keys we are just writing the text whichever we want to write. Okay, we can remove this right stage as well. So navigate one, it is our attach. Okay, let me rename this just for clear understanding or better understanding. And here we are writing the text using global send keys and entering and hitting the enter, right text. Okay, click on OK, reset this and deattach this because we are attaching the application again. Now run the bot.
It is back.
Now run the bot.
Just put the close to your mouth.
See, as soon as focus and click action executed, it will click on this text box, search box. See, so this is how we can automate the application using the application modeler. Similarly, now we can identify these elements as well. If we need any information from this web page, we can identify those elements. We can read the text using read. Let me show you. Now see, we are getting these results. After this we want to read some text. For that we will go to application modeler. Now we need new element, click on element, click on identify, and we want to read this about 34 crores 80 lakhs results. So we want to read this. Okay, now highlight this, control plus left click, sorry, wrong. control plus left click. Okay, we got this text which you want to read, and here you can select the elements, or you can select uncheck the attributes. So I'm using only XPath again. Click on highlight, so it is able to highlight, and if it is unable to highlight, you have to select more properties and make sure these attributes are, and click on apply. Okay, now go to Object Studio, and here we will use read stage because we want to read the data, so we will use read stage. And here give this text element in text, and data will be get text, and the result we want to store. Let's create a text data type. A result, and use this to store the result. Click on OK. Now after this it will read the stage. After writing the text and hitting the enter, it will read the data. So that page may take a couple of seconds in loading, means when we write something, so this may take a few seconds or milliseconds, like it is showing as 0.54 second. So we have to add some wait here so that it can wait. For example, I am adding dynamic static wait. Sorry. Click on this, and here just give the time 5 second, 2 second. I am giving 2 second, sorry, 1 second. 1 second is enough. Or we can also add the conditions, means we can apply a condition like we can identify this element, and we can say if this element is available, then wait until then. Okay, so it will wait, and after timeout, means after 1 second, it will move to the next stage. Now go to this dismiss and run the bot.
Instead.
Okay, now go to the BluePrism. It is completed, you can see, and in result we can see we got this about 33 and all this, you can see it here. So this is how we can read the data from the website. We can write the data, we can click on an element, or whatever operations we want to do for automating this, we can use. We can do that using the read write stage, using the navigate stage, or using the using the application model, we can identify the elements. So usually we do this, either we want to read the data, we want to write the data, or we want to click on the, means we in our computer system or in any of the software, whenever we use any software or any computer system, we just give input to that software and we get output from that. So for giving the input, we can use the navigate stage, means if we want to give inputs like left click, right click, or from the keyboard we want to write something, so we can use global send keys or the write stage. I mean, if we want to write the data, and if we want to read the data, we can just simply use the read stage. So this is how we can automate any application using these features of the BluePrism. Okay, so these are the 5 extra stages: read, write, navigate, code. Similarly, you can use the code stage as well. If you want to write any code, you can use the code stage as well, and using the application model, you can identify any element of that particular application and just start automating any website. It is very simple. Just identify the element. Just first of all, you need to identify your requirements, means what you want to do. Just understand the process. Like in this example, we see we want to first launch this application, then we want to write this data, then we want to then we have to hit the enter, and then we want to read this text. This was our requirement. Similarly, just understand your requirements, whatever you want to do, and then see how a human being perform that steps. Then how will this computer system will perform this? Then you have to see means how we will perform these steps by using BluePrism. Like we did just like we just did. Means first we attach to the application, then focus on that, then write the text, then read the text. Simple. Now we can we have already published this. Now let me show you how will we use this in this object in our process. Now you means let's say we want to perform these steps using the bot. We have created the object. Now we will go to a process, and here we will take a action stage. And in action, open this action and click on business object. Like I said, now a business object can have multiple actions. See here, this action, this business object which we created, it has only one action, action 1. Similarly, action business objects can have multiple actions. So just select the name of the business object you want to use. So let me show you this. Like these have some, there are some business objects which are built in or provided by the BluePrism itself. For example, this is our business object of collections, and if you want to add the rows, you can select this section. If you want to copy rows, you can select this section. Similarly, you can select this section, and if you want to give any input to that particular if you want to give if you want to give any input to that particular action, you can give the input from here, and if that action is returning an output, you can get it here. Means in our example, we are giving the text. We are searching for IPL 2023, but we want to take it as input, so we can create a data type, and we can pass this data type here, and we can take the input from the user as well. We will see it later. So just select the action, select the business object, then action, and use it here, like start, action, and end. So this will execute. This will now your process is integrated with your business object. You can use your business object in your process. Similarly, you can use your business object in multiple processes. The business objects are reusable, and we can use it in multiple processes. Just you need to automate one application only one time and use it in your multiple processes. So this is how BluePrism works. Means we can create our processes, we can create our objects, we can just deploy this to the control room. Just publish this and just go to control room and drag drop the process, and it will start running. This is very simple in BluePrism. Just use so. And here we can see the status of our processes. It was terminated. And when we click on this, when we right click and when we double click on it, we can see the sessions below viewer, means why it was terminated. We can see the reason here. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you got a good idea of BluePrism from this video. You will be able to create a process just for your practice purpose. You can create the program or the processes to find a prime number, to find a palindrome number or Armstrong number. Just check the logic from the Google and try to implement those processes and publish those processes in control room and run from the control room. And also you can try to automate the Google search or some another applications if you have any. And similarly, you can automate the Windows application in BluePrism as well. Just you need to select the type as Windows. When we integrate when we configure the application model, just select the window application type as Windows. Similarly, you can identify the elements of the Windows application and start automating it. It is very simple, guys. Just give it a try. And in next video, we will see the intermediate crash course. This course is just for the beginners or who don't have any idea of the BluePrism. But in next video, we saw some advanced concept of the BluePrism. So keep watching our videos and do let me know in the comment section if you have any doubt in this session. Thanks for watching, guys.